Good morning, this is Judy from Artistic Artifacts. We are in Alexandria, Virginia, and we are having a warehouse sale. It's usually our parking lot sale, but we've moved into the warehouse because, of course, it is raining. Never best laid plans. So we have a lot of excitement, a lot of stuff going on in the place, in the warehouse, but we wanted to take time out. We've received lots of questions about how to work with our wooden printing blocks. So these are hand carved in India, and they are wonderful to print with. I use them a lot on fabric. You can stitch over them. You can machine stitch, you can hand stitch, you can paint, you can draw. They're just absolutely wonderful tools. I love them. So we are waiting for a new shipment of a lot of new wood blocks. So we're hoping that they're coming soon. But these are just some that I pulled out of our stash, because we, of course, have a stash. The most important part of woodblock printing is this great foam. This piece is $4. That's what makes it all work. So I'm going to use Artistic Artifacts, what I call this the pudding paint. Alright, so these are our small amounts of paint. They're a little bit thicker. They're like pudding. And you just take a little bit and you can see that's thicker than our fluid paints. So I tend to use more than one color. When I'm printing, I use these sponges. So this is a car wash sponge that you can buy in Home Depot or Lowe's, and it's large, and you just cut it up with a pair of very sharp scissors. All right, so here's how I do it. I've got paint mixed, and I'm dabbing. So lots of people go to use a brayer, and I find that a brayer does not work. I don't know why. It just doesn't, I guess, not get enough paint on it. And I'm going to print. I'm going to put my weight into it. It's going to give because of the foam mat. And there I have. Easy. Easy, instant. But you have to have the foam mat. And I re-ink it every time I'm going to print. And I just kind of let the colors mix. I haven't done a lot with rubber stamps. Some people get into, oh, this leaf is going to be this color, this leaf is going to be that color, and I don't do that. Just not my thing. And you can see I got a couple blobs in there, but once I use it, it won't hurt it. So there we go. So that is the easiest way to use a wooden printing block. You want to print on fabric, you want to print on paper. A lot of times I'm going to print, and you can see I just have this scrap piece of fabric because I'll rip pieces out of this and incorporate it into whatever I'm doing. I won't, I very rarely work on my original piece of artwork because I'm nervous if I make a mistake, then I will be sorry. But if I take something from here and add it, then I'm good. All right, now for paper people, one of my favorite things to do is to work on tissue paper. So this is tissue paper we pack in, and if you use this, you can use white tissue paper, you can use pattern paper, and when you put this with soft gel on your journals or your mixed media, it's going to sink right into your page and you're going to see the wood block. It's very cool. I do this all the time. So, I don't know, can you see it? All right, so let this dry, but then this, once again, I rip pieces up and I just have fodder, and then this is one of my favorite things to do is to have tissue paper. All right. Do we have any questions, Kyle?
Nope.
No questions?
People are loving the colors.
Okay. All right.
Just want to make sure everyone's hearing us okay over the noise.
Okay.
Hello from Tucson.
All right. Everybody okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, one question. Can
Yeah.
you print over top of Can you print over top of photo transfer method like those shown on Thursday night? Oh, and then we are coming through.
Okay, so this is acrylic paint that I'm using, which should be able to be printable on anything. So acrylic paint sits on top of the fabric and sits on top of the surface. So I would say yes, you can. You would have to do some tests to see if you like it. That would be my caveat there.
And then one more is from Kathy Buck. Don't you use napkins too?
Napkins in my journals, yes I do, because I went through her house and took all her napkins. Yes, napkins are great to use for paper journals and mixed media. All right, now our other option of using wood blocks is to use a jelly plate. Okay, so these are gel plates. There's a couple of different brands. It's plastic. What do you want me to do? There?
Yeah, right there.
Okay, so it actually comes off. Is that better? All right, this one just happens to be round. They come in different sizes, 8.5 by 11, big ledger size, 14. But I just grabbed the first one that came out. So these gives you an opportunity to work with a monoprint. And I use the fluid, Artistic Artifacts fluid paints for this one. And you can use the thicker paints also. They will work. So the one thing I find when people are using jelly plates is that they tend to use too much paint. I do use a brayer for this. So I'm making my colors here, and I'm just mixing them as I go. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not very precise. Just kind of go with the flow. So we're gonna do double duty here. So let me get myself set up. All right. So when I'm using the jelly plate, I'm taking paint off and I'm putting it on my tissue paper. And I just kind of make sure I have that. And when I'm also using the jelly plate and a wood block, I try to come off of the surface. So here's this. I'm gonna So you can see I'm rubbing it very carefully. You can see where the paint is coming up, and I'm going to have a print. So this all stems back to mono printing, which means one print. Used to be acrylic piece of a piece of acrylic. Then it went, I think it started glass, acrylic. Then we went to actually making gelatin plates, which we did quite often with real Jello, and then now we have something that's reusable. So it's very convenient, and we do have the multiple sizes, along with the paint, of course, on the store, on the web. So I do not clean anything in between colors. I just kind of go with it. Sometimes it's really nice mud. Sometimes you just really start with little paint. It's amazing how much. That's the biggest problem I find. Too much paint. All right, so now I'm gonna do something else. See these little wood blocks here? Printing. say you have your wood blocks and you forgot your piece of foam mat, you can just use your gel plate as your surface. If you don't want to, it'll take the place of your foam mat. Guess I need more of these. Come off the plate. It's all good. That's a good design feature. All right, so now I'm gonna, you got it? Okay, so can you see it come through? All right, there you go. So the jelly plate is a lot of fun with wooden printing blocks. Hi. Very, very easy to use. All right. So I'm pretty sure on our YouTube channel, Artistic Artifacts, we have more of a detailed demo with working with the jelly plates, but I wanted to show you how versatile these wood blocks are. We feed many families in India by purchasing these wood blocks and having them come to us in the United States. So it's kind of a combination of community of artists. They're using them in India, creating them in India, and we're using them here. So that's kind of really important. That's one of the things that's a foundation of Artistic Artifacts, is supporting the artisans from around the world by incorporating them into our artwork. So any questions, Kyle? I feel like I'm speeding.
No questions. Lots
No
of people
questions.
excited to try and play. We've got some people who just got wood blocks who are excited to
good.
try out. So
We've had some really wonderful kits that we've sold over the pandemic because it was easier to process them. They were shipping us kits that are still up there, and then, as I said, we probably in about 30 days will have a lot more variety now once we get past the pandemic part of it.
And then one more time, where can we find this live? Will be available for rewatch, and then also one more time where we can find the more detailed video on YouTube.
It's going to be on YouTube. I'm sorry, I'm not sure which one it is, but you can.
We'll put the link up.
Chris will put the link up. Okay. How do I clean the blocks? Okay, so that was a question, is how do I clean my blocks? I don't worry too much about that. Sometimes the paint dries on the block, but and like with rubber stamps, if you didn't clean them, they would clog and you wouldn't get a print. So these are not, because they're deeper charged, they're not that bad, but they are wood. So I take a scrub brush under warm water and I scrub them. If they get really grody, which they do, I will put a pan full of Murphy's and I'll put this down in the pan face down for maybe overnight, and then I'll take it up and scrub it. But I don't leave them immersed in water. So good question. I always forget that one because I don't really worry about cleaning them. Sometimes they get clean, sometimes they don't. But they never return to the white pretty. But they're really deep, so the paint the paint's not going to clog the print. Any other questions? Yeah. Yes, this is our paint. It's made by Artistic Artifacts, and there's two different...
Could you repeat the question, please?
Oh, yes, I can. What kind of paint am I using, and is it washable? This is I have to learn how to do this. Repeat the question, answer it. Okay, so we're using Artistic Artifacts textile paint. It comes in a fluid, or it comes in 2 ounces. And we make this. This is ours, so you can find it in the store and on the web. So.
Does it need to be heat set?
Yes. So you let it dry, and then you heat set it with an iron, hot iron, just for a little bit. Whenever you're washing things, you want to be careful about what goes into the detergent that you're using, non-chlorine, gentle, and you want to not leave it in the dryer for a long time, because the dryer is actually what will make paint peel. Now, when you're using paint, the higher the pigment content, which means is the more expensive the paint is, the better the adhesion and how long it's going to last longer. All right. Anybody else have any more questions?
Question I might need some clarification on. Do you have a set with anything? I guess
I think
like
it's set,
like a
just-
kit.
She
Kit?
just answered that. It's a heat set with.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I believe that was the question was, do you have to heat to set it with anything? Yes.
Yes,
with,
an iron.
All right.
An iron. A lot of times acrylic paint, if you just leave it alone for a week, it's fine. It'll end up setting, but it's always good to do an iron. So that's the way it is. Very easy, no stress, just kind of works. All right, so now a couple of announcements. We are have been working, I think some of you have heard this, we have a new email provider. What has happened is after years and years of getting the email provider used to it and it going to your mailbox, the people like Google, Yahoo, AOL, they're blocking the emails from even getting to your spam box. So you want to make sure that you put sales at Artistic Artifacts as an approved sender. If you're still not getting the email, then please refill out the subscribe button. And that will give you another opt-in and make sure that you get there. So in addition to change our email life, we have been working on a facelift for our website. The website will be down for Monday from 8:30 Eastern to 6 p.m. So please finish up any of your shopping. Make sure that's done Sunday because the processing of the cart and the processing of shopping is not that, those skeleton parts of it are not going to change, but there is going to be, as I said, a facelift, an update, and we're trying to, that was the part that's going to change. But we never know. It's a computer. And computers are not my friends. So we've been working really hard on this for quite a while. So we're ready and excited about launching it. Okay, so what else do we have? Oh, next Saturday's Facebook Live will be Fit for Art. The women from Fit for Art, they have a new pattern, a tunic. They will be at 9:30 next Saturday. Our next Comments Sold, our Thursday night, will be selling handcrafted items from India. And that is not this Thursday, but the next Thursday. So we do our Thursday nights every other week, in case you haven't caught on to that trend yet. Do we have any questions?
Yeah, one question related to the paint.
Uh-huh.
Would it be possible to thin the fabric paint to use as a watercolor application?
Yes, you can thin it with water, absolutely. Any acrylic paint you can thin with water. You also can thin it with a medium, like you could thin it with matte medium, but it's going to make it a little bit thicker. This is textile paint, it's meant to be softer.
Okay.
Anything else?
That was the only question.
Okay, well, if you're local, please come to our warehouse sale. We have lots of great things, lots of wonderful products and things on sale. We do a lot. We do our bit to keep it out of a landfill. And even if you don't want fabric, there's lots of other funky stuff here too. So we're here till 2. Please come shop. Please take some home. And thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're part of the Artistic Artifacts community.